Hello there traders, and welcome to another update on the market. For today I decided to cover USD versus Japanese yen. I will speak about the gold market, US dollar index, crude oil and Bitcoin versus US dollar. I will start with the USD versus Japanese yen first. So basically USD Japanese yen is in a strong short mid-term upside cycle, and that didn't change. So if we check, this is basically 12 hour. You can also check on a daily time frame. We have a strong upside run since this breakout, this massive consolidation on the left side here, and then market basically just pulling back to this rising 12 or middle counter line, doing the ABC here, as you see at this stage with ABC, and then strong upside run all the way to 131.30, and did this ABC, which I think it's basically another completion of ABC. We had a sell-off, shakeout after yesterday's FOMC, but today basically we can see that market, if you check intraday chart, market sold off yesterday basically and tried to rally immediately to react. This was a climax, right? Ultra wide spread of the bar, and ultra, something that went way too far, way too fast, basically called the climax. Market reacted immediately back to 129.55, and then tried to resell and basically failed to retest the low and took this pivot high and held. So we got basically good evidence that market broke this previous swing high, and it's trying to basically go towards maybe cluster the highs around 130.30 or basically try to attack 130.40. So I see this to the upside, and my advice to watch for buying opportunities basically on intraday pullbacks, thinking that this is an ABC completion on the USD versus Japanese yen. The target, basically the area, the objective, this upside cycle recontinuation, at least I expect retest of 130.40, and then I'm trying to attack 131.23, and then there is also pivot around 134. So, which can be basically some short mid-term objective. Speaking of the gold market didn't change the trend. So with yesterday's FOMC, we had rally basically on euro, pound, gold market, and so. But I don't see any kind of trend change. Just because we had a rally from 1870 to 1900, it doesn't mean we changed the trend. And basically by definition of trend, we didn't change the trend. So this can still be ABC, and we're still trading below the swing high from, for example, 1920 here from April 29. So it's still in a down cycle. And to change the trend, we need at least 2 higher highs and 2 higher lows on the time frame that basically is your main time horizon. So I don't see any kind of daily, basically just a middle counter line. So from that perspective, there is still a chance that market can resell in the next period. Now, this may be just the beginning of that reselling. It's still too early to say. Watch for if the price can back into the previous day range. If price can produce some rally with no follow through, then we can see basically eventual downside continuation and eventual retest of 1877 or area close to the lows or 1861. So watch for the downside cycle and potential recontinuation. Speaking of the dollar index, market, similar to the USD Japanese yen, it's a very similar chart. If you go here, this can still be just a ABC, right? Correction where we can expect maybe higher prices on the dollar index and still that retest of 103.77. And eventually to attack that major area on 104.05. So still, I can see the structure. I can visualize the structure. Current day is not look that spectacular at this stage. We're just having a basically open drive to the upside from the beginning of the Tokyo session. So Tokyo session, most of the Tokyo session and Europe session is trading upside. But definitely I'm watching for the structure to eventually retest 103.77 and 104.05. Speaking of the crude oil is basically trading around 107.96. But there is one interesting thing here. Even we can basically say that if you place some kind of structure, like if you place like this and you think this might be the breakout, maybe the price broke here, but I don't see anything significant on the way up at this stage. We also test this, we're testing this area actually at 108.90. So this is not looking that spectacular for the upside. We're having the basically sidewaysing market all day long, and it's not producing. We have a decrease in momentum here. We have some kind of the drifts here, smaller drift here. So it's not actually, it can be even interesting for the downside. If we clear this, we're basically doing this for a whole day, all day long so far. And if we clear this with aggressive supply, and you see that rally cannot provide any bigger reaction, then this can go lower and trade lower to maybe eventually 105.87, right? In this zone at least, right? So definitely, if this will provide a sell-off, aggressive sell-off with reaction, with poor reaction, then yeah, downside can be interesting, and the levels to watch 105.62 and even all the way down to 102.20. And for the end of this update, the Bitcoin versus US dollar, again, let me remove this. The trend is still to the downside overall in the short mid-term perspective, and we just remove this. And we're just testing recent swing highs. So the day looks relatively flat. We had a climax yesterday. Market went way too fast, way too far. So we had climatic action in the background. That's not that good for continuational short term. We have swing highs here at 30, and let's say 40,000, 40,300. We also have this swing high. So we might also be locked in some kind of consolidation. So might see the price, try to back towards the lows around 37,600. So watch for that potential rotation, and watch for intraday clues to confirm, of course, this downside rotation. That'll be all for this update. I hope that you did enjoy. Trade safe as always, and see you tomorrow morning.